Then Jesus, greatly disturbed, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone was lying against it. And Jesus said, "Take this stone away." But Martha, the sister of the dead man, said to him, "There's already a stench, Lord. He's been dead 4 days." Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God?" And he cried with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" The dead man came out, his hands and feet bound with strips of cloth, and his face wrapped in the cloth. Jesus said to them, "Unbind him, let him go." This is the gospel reading for this Sunday, the tradition of which we call All Saints' Day, a tradition of the church that we lift up the names of the beloved departed, those that have shaped us, those that have helped make us who we are together in Christ. But it's not just a tradition that stays within the walls of the church. It's one richly acknowledging that God is not God of the ordinary. After all, this is a raising from the dead story. This is someone coming 4 days old from the tomb, wrapped in cloth, almost like a mummy. But God is God of the extraordinary, the supernatural, the unexplainable. And it's that we celebrate, especially this time of year and this day. This idea of embracing that God is a supernatural God and there are things we don't know and understand goes back to the 7th century when Pope Boniface IV actually took the Parthenon, that's the all of the gods temple in pagan mythology, and said this is now a site to Mary and all of the martyrs. In the 8th century, an altar to all of the saints was built on November 1st in the Basilica in Rome at St. Peter's. There are 2 other festivals that influenced and came out of this day. The Celtics called it Samhain, summer's end. And it was an acknowledgement that the growth in the life of the summer does pass, and an openness towards this time of winter, this time of seeming sleeping before all rises again in spring. It was a time of great mysticism, a time that the veil was thin, and that there was an acknowledgement that the supernatural and the natural all coexist and blend together. Especially here in the coastal bend, we have the tradition of Dia de los Muertos, and the building of ofrenda and altars, and the laughing at the Grim Reaper with the sugar skulls that are given as treats and as ornaments, and this tradition of writing calaveras literarias. I think I'm saying that well. You can correct me when you see me. But there are letters that you write for the dead, to the living, from the living, to the dead, to historical figures, to close people, but they're limericks, they're jests. They're saying death does not separate us. We are still close. We are still one. So this week, in our trick-or-treating for All Hallows Eve, that's hallow, hallowed, same word, the most holy eve of the day for All Saints. As we are then following on November 1st, November 2nd, celebrating as we do the Day of the Dead, know that God is in the midst of all these traditions, saying, I've already conquered death. You can laugh in the face of death. Death wears your sting. Death wears your triumph. These are empty gestures. No need to fear. 7:30 in our garden service, we'll invite you to bring a candle. We will bless it and anoint it. It will be a symbol of remembrance for you to bring home. We will have a celebration in our contemporary service at 9 o'clock in the fellowship hall. And here in this space, we're going to build an ofrenda. And we invite you, if there are any pictures of loved ones that you wish to bring, to place on that Sunday. That will be there for you. We'll ask also that you leave it all week, because this festivity and celebration concludes on our first Friday, this November 5th at 7 o'clock, when we are actually having an American premiere of a piece that is about speaking into the beyond. It is a love letter to a departed friend. It's in all of these things that we wish to invite you. You might see some kids in costumes on Sunday morning. God is in the midst of that too. You may see some traditions that you haven't seen in church. May you allow yourself to believe that God is big enough to wrap all of these things up, and it's good, and it's blessed. And also, we will be celebrating with a New Orleans style ragtime version of When All the Saints Come Marching In. It'll be a great day to be in church, a great day to be a follower of Christ. And I look forward to seeing you there this Sunday and